actually switch from one routine to the other. And what's really unique about the Mastery course is that we actually have each routine changing on a monthly basis. Some people will take it down as low as 21 days, some people extend it as long as 35 days. But for most parts, it's about every 4 weeks that your routine changes as far as the exercise structure. Rep ranges, those are actually changing from workout to workout. Okay, we're now moving on to dumbbell lunges and then your calf raise. Now in this gym, we don't have a standing calf raise, which is what we're scheduled to do, and this might happen to you. So what we're going to do, we're going to substitute an alternate exercise, getting a little creative, and we encourage you to do the same thing. First off, we're going to do dumbbell lunges, and I'm going to show you how to do it with dumbbells. As you get more proficient, you can use a barbell and put it on your shoulder. So let me show you dumbbells first. Once again, step back, head forward. Always keep your chest up, your back arch, so you're not leaning forward. And then step forward.
I always used to do lunges walking all around the gym, and you taught me how to do these ones, and frankly, as far as muscle development, these guys are it.
Yeah, that's the big difference about running the plane of range, plane of motion, and range of motion. And this is the way for leg development. You know, the walking lunges have some athletic purposes.
Right.
But as far as muscular development, they're garbage. And in fact, you know, if you're into fighting or something like that, there's a place for it. But if you're into building muscle, cuts and slides into your legs, especially in here, you want to be hitting lunges.
Yeah, because
alternating sequence. So now, as I said before, we didn't have a standing calf raise. So what we're going to do, this is a lot harder than it looks actually. Pop one leg up, a little bit just to balance yourself. You crank right up on the calf, stretch, right up, right up, right up.
I also like to hook my leg sometimes on the back of this one.
Anything that keeps you balanced.
But this is a lot tougher. I mean, basically you're using double the amount of weight than you're used to using on both legs.
And make sure you get the stretch at the bottom and right up to the top. You know, I could go like this and keep going. Right up. And then we do the other side. I'm really feeling that one already. And see, it's not a lot of weight. It's about technique. Getting that last bit. You know, if you get really good at these, you can add a dumbbell on the side. Right? Up. And then if you start to fatigue, one of the little extra ways with calves you can get away with a little more is put your hands up to the top, and then you can give a little bit more push at the top and let them down even. Right? It's a great exercise. Play with it. You know, find if turning your calves in a little bit, like that. Turn them out a little bit. Straight. Whichever way you feel the calf the most. Okay. One of the things is everybody's physiology is a little different. So for me, it's a pretty straight movement. Some people I've seen get a little better pigeon-toed. Some people a little wider stance. But the most important part, make sure the ball of your foot is on the bench in every calf. And don't get out here where you're slipping off, and don't get up here where you're working your arch. Ball of the foot right there, coming right up. That's the flexion. All right, let's get back to the lunges.
I think the reason that's so effective is because that extra little balancing you have to do is working a lot of little muscles in there.
Absolutely. And then of course the weakest link, that's the one that's going to fail. So your calf muscle might fail, but the weak links. And after a while, continue doing, you get really strong. And then when you go to a regular calf raise machine, you're going to notice your power going way up. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like rugby players. You see how well developed their calves are because they're always unbalanced. They're pushing in those scrums, right? And so your calves have so many fibers. They respond to that off balance. So some of the functional training you're seeing stuff is taking more into effect, balance training. So it's good to do a little bit, but for muscle mass, you only stay on that for a little while and then back to the basics. Now in this lunge, you can change the difference by technique. For example, if I step and push with the quad, I can lunge back like that, which affects the front quad more. Or I can step out and pull with the back leg. And that's going to work the inside of the hamstrings a little bit more. Right? So there you go. You may notice you start to get a little off balance as you go along. It's okay if you do. Set yourself back down. Especially when you're really pushing. You know, today we're not pushing as hard as we could because we're obviously filming, trying to give you the most instructions. But when you're pushing, there's no talking, total focus. All right, back down. Once again, you want to hit the deep breathing so you can see the oxygen depth building up. So double inhale, double exhale. All right, let's hit it again. Same thing, get the setting, back up. Boom. Now with calves, you can go a little bit slower. And what I tend to do is as the sets wear on, and it gets tough, and I can't get it slow, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start picking up the pace. All right, so it's starting to hurt. Now I'm going to pick up the pace, and I'm going to give a little push with the hands just to get a couple more reps. And then stretch at the bottom. All right, shake it out. Oh, that's starting to cramp up. Combining these with the lunges are really good because the calves start all your leg movements.
Yeah, and you're hitting this whole area.
Exactly,
here.
so when you push, your calves has to start the firing. That's why great athletes, great calf development, right? Up there, so quick. Get that stretch. Avoid the tendency as you get tired, your foot might slip. So reset your foot and also avoid the tendency not to stretch. It starts to tighten up, you don't want to go all the way down. Force yourself down. Even if you can't get the rep, force yourself all the way down.
And I find sometimes just even holding it down on the bottom.
Yeah, exactly, like this.
And then doing little bounces almost, like just moving it up and down just a little bit.
Yeah.
That really gets it firing.
One of the things I like to do too is just kind of, at the end, stretch. Move your hands out and stretch it, feel the pain and the burn, and then back off. You know, most people underestimate how important it is to stretch the calves while you're training. When they're pumped up, the fascia in your calves is so dense and so tight that it can't expand the muscle. So when it's pumped, you know, your calf is a little bit swollen from the extra blood flow in there. You want to get down and stretch them out, you know. Another way is on a straight bench. You can just go like that. In between sets, stretch them out. Like that. And do the other side. Right?
Yeah.
Get creative.
I really like doing those actually.
And the more you stay focused on what you're doing in your workout, you know, don't even worry about anything else that's going on. Just boom, 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 boom. Right? Make sure you get some psychological programming in your head. Some sort of format where you're reviewing this before your workouts. Until you become a master of concentration. I mean, that was Arnold's big secret.